Scripture coming from Romans 5:12 through 19. Therefore, just as sin entered the world through one man, and death through sin, and in this way death came to all men, because all sinned. For before the law was given, sin was in the world, but sin is not taken into account when there is no law. Nevertheless, death reigned from the time of Adam to the time of Moses, even over those who did not sin, by breaking a command, as did Adam, who was a pattern of the one to come. But the gift is not like the trespass, for if the many died by the trespass of the one man, how much more did God's grace and the gift that came by the grace of one man, Jesus Christ, overflow to many? Again, the gift of God is not like the result of one man's sin. The judgment followed one sin and brought condemnation, but the gift followed many trespasses and brought justification. For if by the trespass of the one man death reigned through that one man, how much more will those who receive God's abundant provision of grace and the gift of righteousness reign in the life through the one man, Jesus Christ? Consequently, just as the result of one trespass was condemnation for all men, so also the result of one act of righteousness was justification that brings life for all men. For just as though the disobedience of the one man, the many were made sinners, so also through the obedience of the one man, the many will be made righteous. May the Lord bless the reading of his inspired word.
Hey, Dan. Very good. I hope you heard a couple things in there, and we're going to be working on both of them. One, I don't think needs a lot of explanation. It's the one-man conversation. And so we're just going to make sure we know these men. And so the first man would have been whom? Adam. And then the man who brought this gift is who? Jesus. Okay. And so then there's that word that keeps repeating throughout the middle of this passage. And it's, as Dan was reading it, it is the gift, the gift, the gift, and you heard the gift. And so today I want to talk a little about that word and what it meant in Greek and how it played out. And so hopefully then from somewhere from there we'll get somewhere. We'll see. So the word, the gift, in Paul's writing is very unique because it's not really found in any other source outside of Paul. And so in the classic Greek and in the ancient Greek, you won't see this word. You just won't. And even in the rest of the Bible, you really won't see this word. This is Paul. And he's trying to convey something to you. And so we'll see if we can get where we're going. And so the word is charisma. Charisma. And it starts with, I'll break it down for you, because what Paul did was he took two words and he mushed them together. That's what he did. He took them and he went boom. And so the front of the word is charis, of course, which can be translated kindness. But in this act, I think I want to also add a lovely work. A lovely work. And then at the end, he takes pneuma. Now, pneuma is what got you here today. You all have air in your tires, and that's what got you here. Pneuma, spirit, breath. And so he has this kindness and the spirit, and he mashes it into this word that really should say, instead of the gift, the lovely work of the Spirit. The lovely work of the Spirit. Now that's a beautiful statement, and I want to try and explain it and flesh it out a little better. But first I got to tell you about the week I had, because boy, I had a lot of fun. So earlier this week, I was sitting in my living room, and the phone rang. Okay? And so I decided to answer it, because that's what you do when the phone rings, right? And so I answered the phone, and the very first word, they had me at the first word. They said, "Congratulations." And I went, "Woo-hoo-hoo! All right." And they say, "You have won." And I go, "Woo-hoo-hoo! I won." And I'm listening. And they say, "You have won a free steak dinner at the Texas Roadhouse." And I'm going, well, I do like steak. So I'm going to keep listening. And they said, all you have to do is show up at the Texas Roadhouse for a short presentation, and you will have a free steak dinner. So I thought about short presentation, free steak dinner. You all see me, you know what's going to win out here. So I go to Texas Roadhouse, and I'm sitting there and I'm waiting. I'm thinking my steak dinner should be in front of me just any second. And the person begins to talk. And they talk. And they talk. This is not short at all. This is long. Other people are getting steak all around me. I am the only, no, I'm not the only one. The rest of us dipsticks were all sitting there without our steak, and everybody else was doing what you're supposed to do, eating steak. And I'm waiting and waiting and waiting. And then, of course, I had to make a decision. And they had to wait for the decision because, they wanted me to really think about it because I said no the first time. So think about, this would be really good. I don't want it. I want my steak. They're wearing me down because I'm getting hungry. I see how this works now in interrogations. They're getting me. I'm breaking. And I begin to say, I just want my steak. I just want my steak. And finally, they gave me a steak. Whew. That is not charisma. That is not what you are being offered, what Paul is saying. In fact, that is the direct opposite. Charisma means there is nothing you did to deserve it. There is no catch. There is no hook. There is no provision. There isn't anything stopping you from getting it. It's free. It's here. It's in front of you. Will you take it? That's charisma. And so then we have this very easy decision, you would think, is we either accept or we reject it. And we have to try to decide, is this charisma worthy of taking? So Paul goes into his passage and he talks about that one man and that sin that Adam did and how it doomed us all, every last one of us. But can we be honest? If I was Adam in that moment and was offered that apple, I think I would have took it. I think I would have took it. See, sin, what we tend to begin to do is truncate sin down to where we're exempt from sin. At least I don't. You want me to put one of the big 10 commandments in there, or just, at least I don't steal. And at least I don't swear much. I don't take the Lord's name in vain, so I got that going for me. I got plenty of other colorful words that I can throw in. I don't, so I begin to truncate it down to where I feel pretty good that maybe this charisma I don't need. I can get by on my own. Because at least I'm not like that guy over there doing the great big sins. I don't do great big sins. But a sin is a sin. In Greek again, sin, hamartia, simply means, well, imagine this. You're playing darts, okay? And you've got the dart. All you got to do, I know you got to hit the triple 20, but I'm going to hit the bullseye. All you got to do is hit the bullseye. And so I throw it, right? And I miss the bullseye by that much. Now the other person I was playing with missed the bullseye by that much. So, which one of us hit the bullseye? What do you mean, neither one of us? I'm way better than him. I mean, he barely hit the board. He probably did hit that triple 20, and I'm still mad. So lucky he was aiming for the bullseye. No, if we miss by a little, it's a miss. If we sin a little, it's a sin. And what Paul is talking about in sin is any time and every time that we fail to put our faith and focus on God, we sin. We fall short. And so therefore, this charisma that Christ is offering you is something you should be grabbing at as soon as you see it. Because we all need it. We've got to have it. And it doesn't matter. You don't have to say, well, I'm a good person, or at least I'm not as bad as I once was, or no. Let that all go. Let that all go. You want this free gift. And the free gift is the grace of God and the love of God. Now you see, the reason I say that is for a while in life I got beat up in the Presbyterian church, and I was told an acronym that starts, it's a flower, tulip, and it starts with a T. And the first letter of the T means total depravity. In other words, as a human, there's really not a whole lot of good in me. All right? That's who I am, totally. Now, that's Presbyterian, so, grace bounds here. Grace bounds. I didn't say I believed it. I just said, here it is. But the truth of the matter is, when it comes to depravity, I'm kind of leaning that way. We all have that inclination to sin. We all have that inclination to take care of ourselves before we worry about others. We all have that inclination. And so therefore, because of that, I kind of have to go, yeah. But where I stop is where he's talking about when John Calvin says, but it's limited, that charisma. And I go, Jesus Christ didn't die just for 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 people. Jesus Christ died for the whole world, that all may come to know the saving grace of Jesus Christ. This is unlimited. This is available to anyone at any time, anywhere. That I believe. I know I'm an Armenian. But anyway, that's what I believe. And so I believe anyone and everyone is able to accept this gift. But here's the thing. You got the call. You know where you got to go. Texas Roadhouse. You have... I think it was the back 40 steaks. Anyway, you've got to go. You've got to go. And when that steak is put in front of you, you have to accept it. That are those who Christ sacrificed his life for. But it is just that simple. The lovely work of the Spirit is that you are no longer separated from God. The lovely work of the Spirit is that you are welcome at this table. And the lovely work of the Spirit is that if you haven't accepted Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, it doesn't matter what you've done. Charisma is here. Accept the gift. Accept new life. And God bless y'all. Real good. Amen.